At this moment of thanksgiving, His Majesty the King speaks to his peoples and his fighting forces throughout the world.
Speaking from London, I ask you to join with me in that act of thanksgiving. But at this hour, when the dreadful shadow of war has passed far from our hearths and homes in these islands, we may at last make one pause for thanksgiving and then turn our thoughts to the tasks all over the world which peace in Europe brings with it.
I saw an advertisement for applications for what they call an RAF short course, university short course. Applied for it, got called for an interview, standard questions, why do you want to join the Air Force, what good will you do with the Air Force, and so on. So I knew all the answers. And then he rather surprised me by saying, can you ride a horse? So I said, well, I've ridden ponies for a long time. So he went on, and in the end he said, well, I think we'll take you. Any question? And I said, why did you ask me about riding a horse? And he said, because it means that you've got coordination, balance, and you can deal with the unexpected. I spent the last 7 months of my RAF career flying Dakotas in India, carrying troops for half the time, and then at half time they announced that we're no longer carrying troops, we're carrying passengers. And so instead of going in and saying, are you all strapped in, and leaving it at that, you had to say, good morning, gentlemen, we are flying at 8,000 feet to Karachi or something, and I hope you enjoy the flight. And at the end of it, we used to say, rather preempting what happens these days, and we hope you will wish to fly with 76 Squadron again. And the answer was a lot of raspberries, because they were all being taken for demob. The last thing I wanted to do was being in an RAF aircraft again.
War came, and I was in France in 1939 and 40. And then, that's right, some months later, we sailed, that's right, to the Middle East. And I was taken prisoner. They put us on to an old tanker, which was still, the holds had never been cleaned, and we were pushed down into the hold of these old tankers, of this old tanker, and got us across to Italy. And then in 1943, as I say, Italy collapsed. The thing was, we didn't work at all in Italy, we just left to moulder, more or less. The Germans, however, used us straight away for work. When we got there, this huge factory, which was about a mile square, and it was now coming to production. And in the center of the factory were two huge chimneys, about 200 feet high. When you see smoke coming out of those chimneys, that'll be a dangerous time, because that'll mean production has started. I expect the Allies will react in some way or other. And they did. Suddenly found myself flying through the air and landing in water. I'd been blown up by a bomb. I sort of gradually came round a bit, but I really was quite ill, because apparently my lungs were damaged by the blast of this bomb. And a doctor came, and he lifted me up and made me into a sitting position. And apparently then I couldn't see it, of course, because it was happening behind me, but I felt a sharp jab in my back. And then I could hear what I thought was water running. But in fact, of course, he was draining my lungs. If he hadn't done that, I might have died, I don't know. And it was a question of surviving as best you could. We were greatly helped by the Red Cross. Red Cross lorries would come through from Switzerland, I think, and delivered parcels to us. The war then ground to its end. The Germans were eventually defeated and surrendered.
Well, I joined the army in 1943. Loads of training. Then we did D-Day in June the 6th, 1944. Then from there I went and did Arnhem, and it was there that I was wounded. Our medic was a guy named Eric Warburton, who died last year. He saw that I was in problems, and he came over and came to me and knelt down, gave me a morphine injection, and then set about dealing with my wounds. And hopefully, well, he did, he stopped the bleeding. I was bleeding badly, very badly, and he coped with that. In May, I was at a plastic surgery, and on May the 7th, I was in theatre, hopefully for the last time. And the sister said, "You've got to be okay for tomorrow, it's VE Day, May the 8th. She said, "We're going to celebrate." And I remember thinking, I don't want to bloody celebrate. I've often thought about that. I really don't know. Maybe it was all the things that had gone on. I've often thought about that.